This is Gemara in Kesubos, Daf of Pei Aleph. All the learning for this month, the month of Elul, and the final day of this incredible year, has been generously sponsored as an lezchot neshama for us to Reyzel Basar Mair. And Mir Hashem, as we conclude the year, all the learning should be an incredible lezchot aliyas neshama for us to Reyzel Basar Mair, and a milat yesher for the entire family. And we pick it up on the bottom of Pei Amid Beis. And we just yesterday learned a very lengthy Mishnah, and today we pick it up from the din of Beis Hillel in our Mishnah. Beis Hillel in the Mishnah taught us that when we have a case of one awaiting Yibum, and that person is considered to have two Yarshim, two people that can inherit. We have her father's family, and we have the family of the dead brother. So ask the Gemara, again, a woman is married to a man, he dies, and now she's awaiting Yibum from that man's brother. So the question is, who is Yairish, this woman? Is it her father, or is it the family of the dead brother? So Yibaylahu asked the Gemara, or 5 lines on the bottom of Pei and Beis, Shomer es Yavim Shemeisa. Shomer es Yavam, this woman who's awaiting Yibum, that is Nifter, Mi Kaivra. So a first cousin of the previous question is, who buries her? Because we know that the Yerusha is in place of the Ksuba. So ask the Gemara, Yershebal Kaivra La, the Karyarti Ksuba. Do we say that the husband's inheritors have to bury her because they get her Ksuba? Or do we say the husband's family has the obligation to bury her because they get the properties that go in and out with her? So a very fundamental shayla, who is the one that's going to inherit her? And if you look at Rashi in the bottom, 3 lines in the bottom, Rashi speaks out like we said, the shayla is all predicated on the din of the Mishnah that she has 2 Yarshim. And then the next Rashi ends off the page by saying, so because the Kvura is in place of the Ksuba, because this woman awaiting Yibum has 2 potential inheritors, ask the Gemara, if she is Nifter Lamaisa, who is the one that is going to inherit her? Who is the one that is obligated to bury her? Is it Yarshi Aval or is it Yarshi Av? Amar Rav Amram Tashema, says Rav Amram, I'm going to bring you a rayo. Titania Shemeres Yavim Shemesa. We have a brisa. The brisa says, in this case that we're discussing, Shemeres Yavim, one who's waiting Yibam, that is Niftares. Yarsheha, Yarshe Kesubasa, Chayavim Bikfurasa. The brisa says explicitly, those inherit her Ksuba are obligated to bury her. So clearly, the Yavam is the one that is Mechuyav in her Kfura. Continues the Gemara, Amar Abaya, let's prove this day in Avanana Vitinino. We learn similarly, says Abaya, Amana Nizar is B'nechse Yisayim, and Amana is fed from the properties of the Yisayim, and that which she makes, her earnings go to them. They are not obligated to bury her. Yarsheha, Yarshek Subasa, here it is, Chayavim Bikfurasa, and that is the reason why the Yavam is obligated to bury her. Now, says the Gemara, what is this case? What is the case of an Almana that has 2 potential inheritors? This is referring to a woman who's awaiting Yibam. Both the Yavam and their father's family, both are the ones that are going to inherit her. And we see clearly in the Mishnah that who is the one that has to bury her? The one that inherits her, Ksuba, the Yavam, they are obligated to bury her. Amar Rava asks Rava of Lema Ach Ani Yarish Ishtayin Ani Kaiver. Asks Rava, I don't understand. You're telling me that the Yavam is obligated to bury this woman, but why doesn't the Yavam say, I am Yarish, my brother? My brother's wife, why do I have to bury her? Meaning, the Yavam is able to come along and say, I'm almost doing her a favor. I have a mitzvah of Yibum, but why does that extend and require me to bury her? So Amrle Abaya explains, you know what the reason is? Because we come to this Yavam from 2 sides to explain why he is obligated to bury this woman. And we explained to him, if, like you're saying, that you inherit your brother, then you have an obligation to your brother's family, and therefore you have to bury his wife. And if you're going to tell me that you're not going to bury her, then Yitain Kesubos, then you have to pay your ksuba. And for the fact that you do not have to pay your ksuba shows that you have to bury her. Let's just see one Rashi over here. Rashi, 5 lines into the narrow line, says, just like your brother had to bury her, so too, you have a similar obligation to bury her. Continues the Gemara Amar Lei. So Rava responds back, this is what I meant. That the Yavam is able to say that my brother I inherit as Ishto Inani Kaiver, but his wife I do not need to bury. V'i Misham Ksuba. And if you're going to ask me, but wait, you're gaining that you do not have to pay your Ksuba. The Ksuba should not be the defining factor. Why not? Because the Ksuba is not something that is collected during a husband's lifetime. And therefore the brother could say, if my brother was alive, she would not get the Ksuba. And therefore, even though this person's brother is dead, this woman's husband has died, still the Yavam could say, I'm in place of my brother. And why am I in place of my brother? Because I was planning on doing Yibam with her. And therefore, I don't have an obligation to Ksuba, and I don't have an obligation to bury her. So Abaye responds, Man Shamislei Dislei Midrash Ksuba. Says Abaye, who is the one that holds that we darshin the language used in the Ksuba? Beis Shammai. It is Beis Shammai. B'shamina le'ule Beis Shammai, and explains Abaye, I heard that which Beis Shammai said, Dam Rishari Amilik Voice. The Beis Shammai of the opinion that any time we have a document that's waiting to be collected, it's as if it was collected. So what? Therefore, in this scenario, the woman has a ksuba. Where does the ksuba come from? It comes from her ex-husband's estate, from the property. And since we know that anytime someone has a document that's waiting to be collected, as if it's collected, so explains the Gemara, it's as if she already collected the ksuba. And similarly, if she is nifter, and which is the case we're discussing, want to know, does the Yavam have to bury her? The answer is that just like she essentially has inherited her ksuba, her land from her dead husband, the brother now is going to get that from her. And just like the brother is going to get that from her, he is obligated to bury her. Says the Gemara, not. Now we're going to prove this fact that Beis Shammai is of the opinion the shara of is kigamoi damui, that any document that's waited to be collected is if it's collected. Tetanan, about 15 lines down, the first line is Mesu. Mesu ba'alei amach lo yishasu, in the case of a saita. What happens if the husband dies before the woman has a chance to drink the bitter waters, the meimarim? She doesn't have to drink, she gets a ksuba. I know this ksuba. Says Beis Hillel, no, either she could drink these bitter waters, the mea saita, or either she could drink or she gets her ksuba. So first the Gemara asks, one second. Why? Where does Beis Hillel get this from? The pasuk says you should bring the kayin, the woman to the kayin, v'leka, and therefore, since there's no husband, since ve'evi as isha, since there's no husband to bring this woman to the kayin, therefore, I skipped. I knew something was wrong. Let's go back for a moment. Apologies. One more time. On that, the Gemara asks, ask the Gemara, are you telling me there's an option? You have a choice if you drink. But it says in the Torah that when the man brings his wife to the kayin, and in this case, since the husband is no longer here, he cannot bring her to the kayin. If he cannot bring her to the kayin, there should be no longer any option of drinking the waters. So why are you telling me, Beis Hillel, that she has a choice of either drinking the waters or not taking ksuba? Ella, rather, what did Beis Hillel mean? Because she's not able to drink. That's the reason why she does not get her ksuba. Okay, so now we understand Beis Hillel's opinion that since she cannot drink the me'amarim, she's not entitled to her ksuba. But now let's go back to Beis Shammai, who's the opinion that we're coming to prove. Beis Shammai, I know the ksuba of loy shaisis. she takes her ksuba, she does not drink. V'amai asks the Gemara, Sveiko, Safik Zanai, Safik Loi Zanai. It's a case of a Safik. We don't really know if she did commit zinos or not, which is, of course, the reason why she's drinking the waters in the first place. But if she would have actually been committing zinos, then she would not get her ksuba. If not, she does. Because he's Safik, what's going on over here? The Safik of the woman is coming to remove the vadai. Why is she getting the ksuba? If we're only not sure if she was mizana, why does she have the right to claim the ksuba? Asks the Gemara. So explains the Gemara, you know why? Because Beishamai is of the opinion, and this is the proof that we're looking for, that any document that is waiting to be collected is if it was collected, and therefore even though it's only a something if she was mizana, if she asks for a ksuba, we allow her to take it. Why? Because it's as if already it's collected from the mere fact that she has a shtar. Asks the Gemara 1 second. Asks the Gemara that another one of the prerequisites for the ksuba is that you need to fulfill the words of the ksuba, that when you marry another man, you'll take what is written for you. In this case, it's not possible, because since there is a yavam, this woman certainly cannot marry anyone else. Says Rav Ashi, no, the yavam is the achar. The fact that she has the ability to marry the yavam, that is fulfilling the tanai and the ksuba, that she's taking the ksuba and then she can go and marry someone else. And that's the raya to Beishamai. The shtar miligvos kavik dami. Any document waiting to be collected as if it is collected. We continue 5 lines from the bottom, continuing this conversation between Abaya and Rava. Shalach le Rava le Abaya biad Rav Shammai bar Zera. Rava sent to Abaya in the hands of Rav Shammai bar Zera. Minos l'ksuba ligvos b'chayim. Says Rava, I don't understand. Is it possible to like the ksuba during the Yavan's lifetime? V'atani learned the Raizer Rabba Omer Shalti as Sumchis. Says Rav Abba, I asked Sumchis, I wrote says Shadimkar bin Achasai Echav. If someone wants to sell the property of his brother, Ketzadu I said we have a Yavam who's waiting Gibam, and he wants to sell the property, what should he do? Says the Raizaim Kayinu Yasasuda V'Yavais. If he is a Kayin, he should make a big Suda and persuade this woman, and then he can sell the field. Yisrael, in Yisrael, Megarish Begat V'Yachzer. If he's a Yisrael, then he can simply divorce her and then get remarried. End of a Brisa. V'Yisal Gedaitach. Now Rava explains his kasha on the top of Be'alva Mebeis. V'Yisal Gedaitach, and if you're going to say, Daitin Naslik Sulik was Mechayim, if you're going to tell me that the ksuba theoretically could be collected in one's lifetime, why don't they just give away a share ksuba and the rest they could sell? So Abaya responds 3 lines from the tablet. I don't understand, says Abaya. Why do not ask straight from the din of the Brisa? L'taimech asks, Abaya responds, V'lusva mimas nisan. That says, what our Mishnah says, he cannot tell his wife, you cannot tell the Yavama, your ksuba is lying on the table. Why not? Why is he not allowed to say, oh, your cash is over here, this is your ksuba? The reason being is because we know that the state is always mishubed, is always achroi for the ksuba. And therefore, that's the reason why one is not able to set aside some money. So take your ksuba, because the invention of ksuba is to be around in the case of death or divorce. So the brother is not able to say, your money is on the table. But now, says Rava, no. You know why in that case not? In that case, the Mishnah is teaching me Eitza Taiva for the Yavam. If you're not going to say it's an Eitza Taiva, say for the Ktani V'chein Lo Yamar Adam Le'ishtay Reik Suba Sech Menachas L'chal Shulchan. Person should not tell his wife, your Ksuba is lying at the table, calling the Chasav, Achrayin the Ksuba as Ishtay. All one's properties are Mishubin and Achray. The Ksuba of his wife, Ibai Le'ezvunei. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? If the husband wants to sell some of his properties, Hachanami D'Lamati L'Mizvan, are you telling me that the husband's not going to be able to sell it? Of course he could. Rava Rather, what's the reason in the safe of this brisa is just an Eitza Taiva. So too in our case, it's just an Eitza Taiva. The Ravava Kasha, the Ravava Namilo Kasha, Misham Eva. Says the Gemara, it's not a Kasha according to Ravava. The reason why the Yavam should not designate the Kesubos is because of Eva that could cause a fight between the two parties. A sidebar reason that we have to be concerned about. Once we're on the dinim of the brother's estate and whether the Yavam has rights to it, we continue. We're 15 lines down. First one line is Yavama. There was a man in which a Yavama fell in, this man's brother died, and his wife falls to Yibam. So the younger brother wanted to make her apostle by giving her a get, and then no one could do Yibam Begita Minei. Amar Lei. But the older brother said, My daitach, why are you doing that? You're giving a get to prevent Yibam. If you're telling me the reason why you're doing this is a money issue, is because of the properties, said the older brother, I'm going to do Yibam, but I'm still going to give you a share in the brother's properties. Meaning if the whole reason why you want to invalidate this woman to Yibam, if the whole reason is that you're coming along and giving her a get, is so that you get a part of the estate, says the brother, I'll make sure you have. Amr Rav Yosef, even the Rabban lo lizvin afagav the zavin lo yave zvine. Says Rav Yosef, say once the Rabbanan said that when a woman is awaiting Yibam, the Yavam is not allowed to sell the property, even if he did sell it, it's not a good sale, and therefore the Yavam has no right to say we're going to share the estate because he has no rights in it more than anyone else. The Tani learned in a Raisa, Mishamezi Niach Shemeres Yavam, someone is nifter, leaves over a Yavam, Niach Nechasim V'mei Amana, leaves over properties worth 100 mana, Afal Pi, Shekubasa Ino El Amana, Lo Yemgar, you should not sell it. Why not? Shaloi Nechaz V'Achray in the Kesubos, because there's nothing being Achray to the Kesubos. Amar Leia Baya, Ask the Abai on that brisa. Is what you're saying absolute? Is you're saying that any time Chazal told us not to sell something, if one goes and sells it, it's going to be it's not a good sale. But ask Abai about Tanan. We learned in a Mishnah a case of a woman who was Yerush properties after coming Yisuva and Arusa Beishamei Aimrim. Timkar, we had this recently. Timkar, Ilum Baitim. Shabach Vanas Nakayim, we had this a few days ago. Should not sell the property. Lechatchila, the husband should not. But if he does, it works. Shalchul Lekamid Rav Chanina Bar Babi, Shalchul de Rav Yosef, Amar Abaya, Ad Rav Chanina Bar Babi, Kaifei Tilila. Is Rav Chanina Bar Babi hanging a ring on it? Is he explaining why he says this din? Or are you just saying a stam din? Shalchul Lekamid Rav Menumi Braid Rav Nachman Shalcha Keda Abaya. You responded like Abaya. You responded like Abaya, but then he added on V'Amar Bar Rav Yosef Taima Achrina Shalchuli. But if Rav Yosef has another reason, he should send it to me. And now Nafak Rav Yosef Dag Vashach. Rav Yosef needed another reason. He went out and he locked it. Tanya Risha Yanaisi Achav. Someone marries a woman and dies and he leaves his wife over to his brother. Should not say that since I'm inheriting her. Should not say that. But rather, we take it away from the Yavam and we buy with it land. It's like a regular husband, that the husband eats the produce of the field, which the field produces, but not the item itself. So from here, what do we see? We see that Yavam should, sell the property. That if the Yavam sells the property, it's not a good sale. He doesn't have the right to do that. So Amrlei Abaye Adomo de Tava Lei Avdulei. Perhaps you're doing to him what is good for him. Meaning maybe it's not a din. It's just an eitzah. The Chacham are telling him for his own benefit to transfer the money onto the land so that his cash will remain secure. We know the greatest investment is in karka. So maybe just an eitzah taiva. Amar Lei Rav Yisrael responds, Adanami Maitzian, Vat Amrit the Tavalei. I don't understand. Asks Rav Yosef. The Brisa said explicitly Maitzian. So how can you tell me that the Tavalei Avdilei, the Brisa is just giving us good advice, do what's good for him? So he retracted and Shalchol Kamed Rav Menyumi Braid Rav Nachumi Amar Loho Hachi Amar Rav Yosef Amar Numi Amar Rav Nachman. Zu Einai Mishnah. My timer. Why is this not a Mishnah? Why is this not supported and taught in the Bati Midrash? You know why? Either the reason is because the Romans are all metallic and they're Meshuvim. Says, how do you know? Maybe it's going to be from Mayor. Says the metallic are yes. He says to her, Lahadam, I don't want to talk to you. Says, it continues the Gemara. Maybe it's going to be Rav Nasan, the Tani Rav Nasan, the classical Shibud Rav Nasan. Concludes the Gemara. A cloud, a rule, take it to the bait. We never find a Tana that is Machmir to Chumras by Ksuba. Al Ikra Meir Ikra Nalson. Amarava Imkain. I know the Shamil Abayah Damar doing a Mishnah. Now I understand what Abayah said was that this is not a proper Mishnah. I didn't know what it meant. We'll pick it up in the next story of Ugaver in the next year at Mir Tzasha.